All right, next up, another 3:30 game, the final 3:30 game we're previewing. Number 21, Michigan at Nebraska. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on CBS. These are two programs very similar to each other, actually, trying to emerge as playoff contenders in the Big Ten, and they both have anointed saviors at quarterback, too, in these two programs. Neither Michigan nor Nebraska are among the 5 highest-ranked teams in the Big Ten right now, but both have an opportunity to join that group this Saturday and emerge as legitimate contenders for a playoff spot. And the other characteristic that they both share, like I said, they do have quarterbacks, young quarterbacks, that they hope will lead their programs back to glory. Nebraska's Dylan Raiola has an 80.1 PFF grade as a true sophomore. He was the first 5-star recruit that the Cornhuskers got in 19 years at that program. Michigan's Bryce Underwood right now, very solid 73.4 PFF grade as a true freshman. Not only did he enter Ann Arbor as the number 1 overall recruit from the 2025 class, he was one of the highest rated quarterback recruits we've ever seen, too. So 2 quarterbacks with a lot of hype right now, both of them playing pretty well for their programs, but also 2 programs, Dalton, that are trying to get to the college football playoff this year.
And Michigan, I mean, is obviously very used to playing in big games, and they're going to play in more of them throughout Bryce Underwood's career. What a massive game. This feels like, to me, the biggest game for Nebraska in a long time. I think, I don't think they looked as good in week 1 against Cincinnati as we thought they would. The last 2 games they've dominated lesser competition, but this feels like the moment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This does feel like the moment that Nebraska, you get the big home game, Michigan, you get, kind of a runway here over the next handful of weeks in the Big Ten where if they win this game, I feel like they can win a lot of the future games. Michigan State, Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern. I feel like Nebraska can start to put together a case and a road to, look, any of these Power 4 conferences, if you can get to 10 wins, you suddenly have a case. I think if Nebraska wins this game and they're capable of winning this game, then you have a case where you go, hey, they could go 10-2 in the Big Ten. We could start thinking about them a little bit. But this feels like Nebraska's moment where they have to find a way to seize it. How are they going to do it? Who is it going to be? Can they step up in this type of moment? This is what they've been waiting several years for.
Exactly. And you have the Nebraska offense in this one with Dylan Raiola against the Michigan defense. What should we know when they have the ball?
I think, do you remember the days of Russell Wilson in Seattle of let Russ cook and let him sling the deep ball downfield? And I think we have a similar dynamic here. I think Dana Holgorsen, you have to, in this game especially, you want to find out if the 5-star thing is real. You want to find out if Dylan Raiola's that guy, not just good. He is good. I think we know he's good. You want to find out if he's that guy who can beat the Michigans and the Ohio States and Penn States of the world. You have to let him do it. Dylan Raiola, to me right now, they're not allowing him to throw the ball downfield as much as he should be. He's got the 3rd best passing grade, actually tied for 3rd with Ty Simpson from Alabama. 3rd best passing grade on 10-plus yard throws this year. 94.3 passing grade. 81.5% adjusted completion rate. Best in the country.
Wow.
NFL passer rating, 155.5. Perfect is 158.3. Darn near perfect on 10-plus yard throws this year, 17.4 yards per attempt. The problem is Dana Holgorsen is only allowing him to throw these passes less than 29% of the time. They need to the one thing that what I saw more than anything against Cincinnati a couple weeks ago was an unwillingness to just unleash him. If this is your superstar quarterback, and he's that guy, and he's the savior, and he's the guy who's going to bring you to the promised land for the first time in 15 years and do these big things and be a playoff contender, then he has to be your best player, and you have to allow him to be your best player.
Yep.
Throw into Dane Key, throw into Neziah Hunter, Ja'Cory Barney. This passing game is supposed to be what Nebraska's built around now, and I love what they've got going in the backfield with the run game too. But this is the moment. You're going to beat a team like Michigan, you got to beat them with your quarterback. And you have to let him. Dylan Raiola is not, I guarantee you this, he's not going to dink and dunk his way to this win. He will not do it. You need him to be the best player on the field. When he has thrown these vertical passes, he's shown you he can do it. Let him do it more often. And you know what? If he attacks and they lose anyway, then maybe you just weren't good enough. But do not lose this game if you're Nebraska. I would be so afraid that you come out of this and we're just like, they were too timid.
Yeah.
Because they were timid in the Cincinnati game.
There
And that was with a three-man rush and zone defense and everything we thought was advantageous to Raiola. He has the talent. He can make every throw on the field. He can do it. Despite all the noise and everything else about him, Dylan Raiola is really freaking talented. Let him be. Yeah. Let him be. If he's the best player on this field, they can win this ball game. But Dana Holgorsen has to let him do it.
So all eyes will be on Dylan Raiola, on Nebraska's offense, and deservingly so. All eyes will be on Bryce Underwood on Michigan's offense, and deservingly so. But really, Dalton, my matchup to watch on that side of the ball, can Nebraska slow down Michigan's run game? Because as talented as Bryce Underwood is, and he is immensely talented, one of the most talented quarterbacks I would say in college football right now, they need to focus on stopping this ground game for Michigan first. Because right now, Michigan runs the ball on over 54% of their plays, the 25th highest rate in all of college football. Michigan has done a really good job of running the football this year, too. 22nd in rushing grade this year, 35th in run blocking grade this year. Justice Haynes, the transfer from Alabama at running back, he's 5th in America with 388 rushing yards so far this season. Even Bryce Underwood has done a really good job of running the football. Last week against Central Michigan.
Batman he is. He's Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Biff Poggi said he's just, maybe he's Batman.
Bryce Underwood ran for 114 yards and 2 touchdowns against Central Michigan this past weekend. So, yes, Bryce Underwood is immensely talented as a passer, of course. But this Michigan run game is really what you need to focus on for the Cornhuskers right now. And Nebraska's pass defense has been absolutely phenomenal. Right now, they're actually the best team in the country in terms of EPA per pass at negative 0.534. However, the Cornhuskers have had far more issues in run defense, especially in their Week 1 win over Cincinnati. Nebraska had a 42.8 run defense grade in that game. It's worst since the 2022 season. Cincinnati averaged 6.7 yards on the ground, 2.9 yards before contact. So they weren't even getting contact on the Cincinnati ball carriers. And Brendan Sorsby, we mentioned before how Bryce Underwood is a really good runner. Brendan Sorsby, the Cincinnati quarterback, had 96 rushing yards on the ground in that game. He led the Bearcats in rushing yards that game. He also had 2 touchdowns on the ground in that game too. So Bryce Underwood's legs could be a big factor in this one. I think Michigan's strategy in this ballgame will be to let Justice Haynes, let Bryce Underwood, let that offensive line kick ass in the run game, and only rely on Bryce Underwood as a passer when they need to, because Michigan's receiving core still isn't the best right now, and Nebraska's pass defense has been outstanding this year. Michigan's going to want to win this game by utilizing their ground game first.
Same old Michigan.
Yeah.
That's nothing changes. It could be Jim Harbaugh, it could be Sharon Moore, it could be Biff Poggi, it could be you or me head coaching them. It's probably going to be the same way. They're going to play defense, they're going to run the football, and they're going to grind you down physically. They don't care if they win by 1 or if they win by 30. And now if they win by 30 on the ground like that, then great. But Michigan, look, they have a brand, they have an identity. We know what it is, and everything you just said there is same thing we say about Michigan pretty much every time we talk about them until Underwood really, really gets it going in the passing game, and that'll be exciting when that happens. But for now, I'm with you. Michigan's going to go on the road, and they're going to stick to their identity, and if that identity wins them the game, then so be it.
Yep. So ultimately, Dalton, in this battle between 2 Big Ten teams that want to make the playoff, in this battle between 2 former 5-star recruits at quarterback, who will win between Michigan and Nebraska?
Oh, boy, this is a fun football game. Because I think it's just so much on a team that has been there, that won a national title 2 years ago. Many of these guys were on that team. Now, this is a pretty young Michigan team too, right? Obviously, Underwood and all the young guys. And then you've got Nebraska, who's just so trying to kick the door down so hard, right? Their first bowl game last year since, 2018 it was, I think you said?
Yeah.
18 or 17.
I'll look it up, yeah.
And you have a team this is the game where they need to kick the door down. But watching their offense, I just don't know that Dana's going to let Dylan Raiola really let it rip. And another thing, too, is actually a big injury news. Michigan is expecting to see Rod Moore back at free safety for the first time since that national title game. So this is also – now, if he's 100% and he's the Rod Moore we know and love, that's a huge factor to me. That's just a fantastic football player, one of the best safeties. And if he's not 100%, then it plays to my point about, okay, throw it vertically, please. But – I think the part where Michigan has this identity, and they've been in a lot of these games, and I know they're working through it. How many times are they going to win games with suspended coaches also? It's just a theme that they have the last few years. But I think that Michigan defense and the run game and that grinding nature of their team, they pulled off 20-16 on the road.
I have it 24-20. By the way, Nebraska's last bowl game was 2016, even farther along.
I remember you've thrown that out there a few times. I always forget what exact year. 26. But they're trying to be. It's that moment where if Nebraska does win, then we sit there and go, oh, they're back. Nebraska's back.
They could be a playoff team, yeah.
And it's
with that schedule, they could be a playoff team.
Just need Dana Holgorsen to let Raiola do the. I don't want to say do the Patrick Mahomes thing because that's not the right thing to say here. But I mean, just let him. You have to let him be the best player on the field.
Let him be 2019 Mahomes, where he's slinging the ball downfield, not 2024 Mahomes.
Not now.
Dinking and dunking. Yeah.
No, not the 3-yard average depth of target Mahomes. I need prime Mahomes.
Yeah.
I need early Mahomes. But
he's still prime Mahomes.
Maybe Texas Tech Mahomes. But either way. I'm sticking with Michigan. I just feel like it's stable, and we know what Michigan is, and we're waiting on Nebraska.
I think I'm taking Michigan as well, 24-20. You see on the screen right there. I think the run game will shine in this game. I mean, you saw Nebraska's run defense have a lot of issues in that Cincinnati game right there. And I think Michigan's defense, with Rod Moore hopefully back this week too, that could stall out the Nebraska offense with Dylan Raiola there too. So it should be a really, really fun game. But I think Michigan will pull off the road victory and really establish themselves as legitimate contenders to make it back to the playoff this year after missing it last year.